Alright guys, check this out. This is my top 10 New Super Mario Bros. Wii levels list. Now, I've played this game probably more than any other game, starting in 2009 as a kid, and then I did lots of speedrunning and then lots of modding, and yeah, I've done pretty much everything in this game that there is to do. But I just realized that I've actually never made a list of my favorite levels and ranked them against each other. So this is what I'm going to attempt in this video. Now, what are the criteria? How am I going to rank these levels? Well, it's obviously not gonna be completely objective, although I am going to try to give a few good reasons and analyze the levels a little bit, like how fun are they to play, how well are they made, how I don't know, innovative are they or whatever. But also nostalgia and personal attachment will play a role in this. There is just no way around that. There are just some levels that, you know, I like and you should like them too. So yeah, I think it's gonna be an interesting mix, and let's just get started with number 10, which is 7-Castle. It's always good to start off a top 10 with something that's not too controversial. You know, I believe this level is very popular from what I've heard, and for good reason. It's unique, it's a castle that takes place outside, and it has a pretty tileset. You know, as a designer, I always have to appreciate it if developers put effort into making something look different, and that's definitely the case here. Apart from that, it's not the most innovative level in terms of gameplay, but it still has fun mechanics. Okay, sometimes you have to wait a bit too long for my taste, but it's generally still a dynamic level, and it actually has an appropriate difficulty for World 7. Also, Ludwig is my favorite Koopaling, so this one's definitely on the top 10, even though barely. Alright, next up at number 9 we got 8-6. Probably a level that many of you did not expect on this list, but I really like it because it's just the perfect volcano level. It actually feels like you're inside a volcano with the rising lava and the background and everything, and the gameplay is just really good. You know, there is not one huge new thing in this level, but you have to deal with multiple known things like jumping on the springs, dodging the enemies, swinging the vines, or chains in this case, collecting the star coins, and all that with that little bit of extra pressure on you because of the rising lava. And there are no real empty spaces in this level, like areas where there is nothing happening. There is always something to do and something to pay attention to, so it feels really engaging to play this level in my opinion. Which is also why I love speedrunning it, even though there is this huge cycle lock in the end. That's super annoying. But in general, classic Mario platforming with extra tension, I like it. Okay, then at number 8 we got 5-4. Of course, absolutely legendary level. Everybody has memories with this level, I think. And yeah, it just has this very unique gameplay with the raft that only allows 5 objects or enemies on it. So it's kind of slow paced, but there is still always stuff happening in this level. You always have to watch out for things dropping down from the sky or your friends attempting to throw you into the poison. So we have very different and chaotic gameplay here. But what really makes this level special to me is that you can contrast this chaos with a precise speedrun of this level. Maybe you've seen that, you know, the 5-4 skip with the propeller. That just feels so good to do. I really appreciate that this level provides both experiences. One where you're completely powerless and you have to spontaneously react to things happening. And the other where you're in complete control and you're pulling off sick moves. So yeah, I think we can all agree that 5-4 deserves to be on this list. But it gets even better with number 7, 4-Castle. This one's a little bit underrated in my opinion because it does so many things well in terms of level design. What do I mean? Well, first of all, this level has water both as a visual element, but we also have occasional water gameplay with a small water section. And the water also appears in the boss fight. So this fits the theme of the world, and that's not always the case with these castles, so that's already pretty cool. But where this level really shines is its mechanics. We have these fences where you can spin around, we have the skewers that are used in very dynamic ways and they actually combine with these fences, and we also get these dry bones fish or whatever they're called. And what I really enjoy is that these mechanics appear in different sections, so we have different parts of this level that each feel unique. We start off with this fence skewer section, then we have this dynamic skewer section which is a bit more dangerous, then a little intermission with the underwater section, Then a section with a really long skewer, which switches up the gameplay once again because you always have to wait for it. And then comes the boss fight, which is also not too bad. The only thing I would have wished for here is if maybe the mechanics combined a bit more in the end, instead of being totally separate. But still, this level has a lot of stuff and it's fun to play. Alright, then at number 6 we got 6-3, very interesting level. I'm a huge fan of the fact that this level has a totally unique theme and a unique tileset. But the big thing is that the gameplay and the mechanics actually fit the theme. This is what I want to see, okay? We are obviously in this underwater pipe system, so what do we get? Many weird plants as enemies and rising and falling water that we can control to manage our way through this maze. Very fitting. Also, as supporting enemies we have these buzzy beetles, which I guess also fit the theme, and we can do shell jumps and mid-airs with them, which is epic. But the cherry on top of this level is that the tiling, the way it is built up, also fits the theme. This is something that you almost never see, but it's always so good. You know, it's not only that the tileset shows us that we are in this underground pipe system, but the way the tileset is used too, because sometimes we get these very narrow passages that simulate us going through a pipe into the next bigger room. So this level is really immersive and unique. It definitely deserves to be up here. So now we're in the top 5, opening up with 3-1. This level is up here because I think it's one of the most memorable levels in the whole game. The mechanics that define this level are pretty much only the penguin suit and these cooligans, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it actually is if you take into account the new gameplay that the penguin suit provides. The whole level is pretty much just about, here's your new power up, here's how you can use it, and here is why it's super fun to play. Also the music and the theming, it's just a vibe, you know? Not every level needs to be a masterclass in combining multiple mechanics or something. Sometimes you just need a Mario Bros. Wii 3-1 that you can play over and over again because it's just super satisfying. I am mainly referring to this long sliding section in the end. Damn, we used to play this level a lot because of that. So yeah, this level is definitely one of the best in the game. No doubt. Then at number 4 I have put 3-Tower, also a level that I think is underrated actually. I've always enjoyed playing this level a lot, because it just feels different. It's this calm, slow-paced platformer, but it's still exciting because the level builds up tension very well, and you actually encounter many different mechanics on your way up. This is what makes this my favorite tower. It's not just more and more of the same stuff, but you also get these different sections like in Fortish Castle. We start off with this kind of getting over it section with these rotating blocks, and then the level totally switches up for a long time, and in the end we also get a getting over it section that's a little bit annoying but not super punishing, because you can try again. The star coins are, I think, also some of the better ones in the game. I haven't talked much about star coins here, but they're obviously also a factor. I remember when I first played through the game we were stuck for a long time at this level, but it was still fun to get a little bit higher every time. Later on this also became the level where I learned one-sided wall jumps, which is probably my favorite skill in this game, and I've done this challenge a lot where you skip the yellow platforms and only go up with a fire flower or ice flower. Try it out if you haven't, it's way cooler than 5-4 skip. And yeah, this level is very important for me in this game. But now we are entering the top 3, the absolute best levels in this game in my opinion. And on number 3 we have 6-1. Wait, 6-1? What's so great about this level? Well, I'm glad you asked, because I have a lot to say about this. 6-1 is, in my opinion, the most optimized level in this game in terms of pure platforming level design. We have 2 new variations of known enemies. On one hand, these spikes that provide a vertical threat that you have to watch out for, and it's being contrasted with rotating bullet bill blasters that provide a horizontal threat. Very clever. And of course, this level has its own completely new type of gameplay, with Mario standing, hanging, walking and climbing on these ledges. Honestly, it's quite amazing how many different setups there are with these ledges and climbing walls. And they always combine that with the spikes or bullet bills, and in the end, of course, both at once. So we have horizontal and vertical threats at the same time while dealing with this new mechanic. Isn't that great? I could analyze this level to death, but nobody wants to hear that, so just know this is a great example for how you should do it. We have a new mechanic that provides unique gameplay and is used in all kinds of ways. It's combined with other interesting supporting mechanics. It has a variation in the pacing, sometimes you go slower, sometimes faster. We have environmental transitions where you go in and out of the caves. And this level rewards exploration like few others in this game. There are some pretty obscure little secrets that many of you guys probably don't even know about. The only thing that annoys me about this level is... did they really have to use the 1-1 music again? Other than that, 6-1 is definitely peak Mario. But so is our number 2, which is the final castle. I'm pretty sure nobody disagrees with a very high placement of this level. I mean, it just has it all, right? It's the ultimate final castle, epic boss fight, different sections, different mechanics. I think I don't have to justify this one as much as 6-1, but yeah, here are a few things that I really want to highlight. I love how this level builds up tension all the time. We start with this classic but engaging castle platforming, then we have a very interesting downward section where you're not really sure what's gonna happen, and then you're deep down in the castle, very muted and dramatic music. You walk down the hallway and you get these fireballs, Bowser comes, you fight Bowser, you think it's over, it's not over. The real level actually starts with a great escape. I don't know if that was a spoiler for anyone, I'm sorry if it was. But this game is 15 years old, I don't care. And honestly, in those 15 years, I don't think this level has been topped by any other final Mario level. Okay, maybe Odyssey is good or some 3D Mario, I don't really know. But at least in 2D Mario, this is the ultimate final level. Now, as you may have noticed, this is only number 2, so how can this level even be beaten? What is, in my opinion, the best level in the game, if not the final castle? Well, as many of you may have guessed, it is 4-4, my favorite level, with the bloopers and the fish, and even more bloopers, and yeah, obviously I'm kidding, this level sucks. Number 1 goes to 9-7, and this is not a joke, but this is my actual contention. 9-7 is a controversial level. People love it and people hate it, and that's actually the first thing that I like about it. 9-7 just has this legendary vibe around it. It's the final hardest level in the game, and it still instills fear in people. So you know me, I'm a huge fan of difficulty. But what makes this level special to me is that it appears at the end of World 9, where we've pretty much only seen recycled mechanics combined with a few more enemies. But then we get 9-7, which is something totally unique. First of all, we have a new theme, this frozen jungle, in the second to last level in the game. That's undeniably impressive. But with this theme go fitting mechanics that are also new, these piranha plants melting the ice and you get coins or munchers. And the level changes, it transforms itself as the ice melts, so it always stays exciting. But then we also get a new type of enemy that fits the theme and interacts with the other mechanics. These prickly Goombas. And the star coins in this level, especially 2 and 3, are some of my absolute favorites, because you really have to pay attention, and there are also different ways to get them. So you can't tell me that you would have expected something like this at the end of the game. Now, my favorite thing about 9-7 is the speedrunning. No matter if you're going for it with the star coins or without the star coins, or with a power-up or without the power-up, there are many different ways to speedrun this level, and it's somehow always satisfying to do. There are some of the most precise jumps that I've ever done in a level, and they are really fun. Every time I haven't played New Super Mario Bros. Wii in a while and I boot it up again, I speedrun 9-7 because that's one of my favorite things in this game. So yeah, that's my opinion, that's my number 1 spot, maybe a bit biased, but I hope I gave you a few good reasons for every placement on this list. Now you can destroy my list in the comments and write your own top 10 if you want, you know how this platform works. And yeah, see you next time, have a nice day.